I talk about the reactions of the Club World Cup final, how it impacted Chelsea, and then every positive, discoveries about our player, and then how well they are going to perform this season. Kindly watch the video. Now today there has been some news, and then we must learn a lesson. Our owners said he looked at the whole performance and everything and give kudos to our players for how well they have been doing. And then they stood up to the occasion, They were written off. Nobody, no pundit, no analyst anywhere gave us a chance. In fact, before we get to wear a boot, people decide what the end of the result will be. But our boys showed up. They were hardworking, and they used that, those contributions that were not positive. They used it to their own advantage, and they worked very hard on it. That's how we were able to get the winning. Now, I said we must learn a lesson. Nicolas Jackson is not a bad striker. This message is to all Man U fans, because they have been seeing the news and then they have been gutted so far. Nicolas Jackson is not a bad striker. He performed well in Villarreal. That was why Chelsea bought him. And then, of course, he has not been able to perform to the expectation in Chelsea. Doesn't mean that he will fail in Man U. So, why not the reason like this now? We are always partners, you understand. You can rely on us for players if you have needs of players. You understand. To the whole Man United fan, don't be too gutted by it. Your club will remain your club, and then we are going to be in partnership. We will send you players as usual. When you need help, we are here to rescue you. If you know what I mean. So Nicolas Jackson can perform in Man U. So why you help us, please? Let us get this transfer balls rolling. We are partners. Nicolas Jackson always give his best anytime he's in the match. He makes sure that number 9 position is not empty. So you understand what I'm saying. So he will perform in Man U. Just do us a favor by carrying him, and then in the turn, it can be a surprise in Man U. So why not they do like that now? You understand? Even when we are not ready to sell Mount that time, you guys came for him and he was gone. You dropped the money. So if the amount has not been performing in Man U because of serious injury, but Nicolas Jackson is not an injury-prone player. You understand? So that's that for that. Kindly, prepare the paycheck, and then, let's see what we can do. In that case, we are going to reduce the price tag for you. It's not going to be 100 million like you have been seeing. We are just trying to bring up the competitions from the market, and of course, in the current market that is so porous, Jackson can be worth 100 million according to what the owner have said. I support that idea. Anything they say now, because of the achievement and then the way they have asked the fans to believe in them, I actually believe, Jackson can be worth 100 million in the current market, because when you look at the players that are worth like 80, 70, how many goals they score per season? Jackson was able to score 15 goals per season with a very tumultuous season, you understand, but he was able to pull out those goals, you understand. So I think you're gonna do better now that Konya is there, and of course Mbeumo is gonna help you guys out. So they will give Jackson some edge, you understand. So that's that for Man U. Please don't mind, everything will go fine. Trust me, everything will go fine. Now back to our own club. Chelsea has been talking about adding, because now the model continues. We are not going to be buying over age players. The model is buy young players, buy as young as you can, get in the market. And then we've been looking at some defenders, and the number one defender that Chelsea has been talking to has been Jorel Ato. Don't mind me if I murder the name. It will get very familiar soon. So Chelsea were able to discover him, and then I have gone to check his clip. It is not an option to leave Cucurella without backup. It is not an option, because he's gone for far too long, and then the number of competitions we are going to be playing now, he cannot play everything. He cannot. We don't know the future of Renato Vega. We don't know what it is, but we need a backup. And then when I look at Jorel Hato, that plays in Ajax, he can play as a central defender. He can play the left wing where Cucurella plays. So it's going to be a very good addition. And then we have been talking about Chelsea have already communicated with Inter again for Alexander Bastoni. The Inter defender, very solid defender. You can look up his profile too. I've checked it. even his performance are not hidden. He performs very well, even in Champions League. Again, Barcelona, the recent ones. All of them, Inter had a woeful performance in Champions League final. So that's nothing to check. Don't go check there. So, but that's it. Jairo Heto and Alexander Bastoni from Inter. Those are the two players that we're looking at. And then if we can get those players in, it will help us very, very well, because now we have players, of course, at the back of the park, but we need massive upgrade. We need strength. We need people who can, and then Chaloba, as he's been pushed currently initially out of the club because of his performance and his mindset and his, humility. They are no longer pushing him out of the market. So I think Chaloba, of course, it is still open according to Chelsea hierarchy. If a bid comes, they'll definitely say, I think Napoli are up to him, onto him, but I'm not sure he's strong. Chelsea will prefer that nobody buys him, but of course, if a very good bid comes, they're still willing to sell. The same thing goes for Nkunku, because Nkunku is not promised his starting number, starting 11. He's a squad player. So the same thing goes for Nkunku. The same thing goes for Dusbriol. These are squad players. Of course, Dusbriol has been a player that has been very good. He's been performing brilliantly. Anytime he's asked to come within the match, he's not starting in most matches, of course, but I've never seen a complaint of him. So these are some of the reactions of the news that we are getting. And then, of course, Kopama went home. He's a St. Kitts and Nevis city originality. His father is from there. But of course, he's a UK citizen, and he was well welcomed. Now, our front of the shirt sponsor last season were bargaining for about 40 million euro, 40 million euro, 40 million pounds thereabout, and then the deal could not go through, which Chelsea pulled out. It was even Chelsea that pulled out of the deal. Now, because we won the Club World Cup, those are some of the effects of the Club World Cup. Now we are having deals of minimum of 60 million. That's what we are having now. Look at what just a few months ago. Look at what happened. 60 million, and then now we are looking for people who can pay up to like 100. Because what it means is that if you're able to get a deal with us, that means you're going to definitely be with the club for 4 years minimum. Because we are going to be wearing the Club World Cup badge for 4 different years. So it's going to be a very good one. And then there has been attackers that have been mentioned in the market. Attackers that are very solid. Rodrigo, I don't know if he's going to come to Chelsea. I don't know. But let me know what you think about Rodrigo, because Rodrigo has been mentioned also. And then meanwhile, it is not only Man United alone that Nicolas Jackson can be heading to as the current close coach of Aston Villa. He's a coach who knows Nicolas Jackson so well. And then he was asked in his press meeting, he said he knows Nicolas Jackson when he was at Villarreal and is a very good performer. And then, but he has not been watching much of his matches in Chelsea. But I don't know. He can't pretend that he's not hearing the news. But of course, these are some of the things that we want in our favor. So if definitely according to the information we are getting, if Aston Villa will be coming for Nicolas Jackson, there's a very good chance that we are going for their midfielder, Rogers. A very, very good player. Rogers and Eberechi Eze. Chelsea has already also inquired about Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace. Very solid player. Arsenal has been talking about that player, and he has a 60 million release clause. It's not as if it's so much for Eze. That's the truth. And do you think 60 million pounds is much for Eberechi Eze that has proven himself in the Premier League with his quality? It's a standing 10, for God's sake. He's worth that money. He's worth that money. He can win you a match. So I feel like it's worth it. I don't know who to prefer between Eze and Rogers, because Rogers play very good ball. His hold-up play is fantastic. Very strong and difficult to dispossess. Very strong and difficult. I could remember his performance against Man City like yesterday. In fact, Pep Guardiola, I think he was formerly a Manchester City player. Pep Guardiola had to reference him and acknowledge him immediately that match ended. Even before he left the pitch. He's a very, very good player. So if Nicolas Jackson is going to be heading towards his former manager, then I feel like Chelsea are going to be going for Rogers, because Chelsea wants to get a player in, at least one player for the defensive department, one at the midfield, and probably few others in the attacking position. But those are the crop of players that Chelsea has been looking up to. And then I wish any of them that Chelsea could get between Eberechi and then Rogers, I will be very, very happy. I'll be very, very happy. Everybody are currently on holiday and then everything is going fine. These are currently the news that I've been getting, and then hopefully we're able to get some more players before resumption. So these are the news. Kindly let me know your reaction about the players you probably prefer between Eberechi and Rogers. Let me know if you think that Rogers exceed the performance of Eberechi in the league, because these two players are very solid players in the midfield department. You understand? And then Rogers also, if you watch his matches, you understand that this guy has a very good hold of play. He can break defensive role formations. He can break them. These are some of the players. Because now, what we are going to be doing is doing more of the attack, because many teams are going to be coming to play us, and they are not going to be playing us lightly, because they understand that we are Club World Cup champion. We are like world champion. So they prefer to lose to any other team than to lose to Chelsea. Everybody in the Premier League. They are going to be preparing. Some people will even forfeit some matches and prepare for us because they are coming to face us. And it's a record for them anytime if any of them could pull it, through to winning us. And then we can't afford that, because currently the target is set to go for the Premier League. Of course, it's not obvious, but that is what that performance can give you. The performance in the final at the Club World Cup. There's nothing it can give you than that. You understand? So let me know what you think. Do you think Rogers or Eberechi Eze? And then Jared Hato's price tag is about 40 million. I think the club values him more, but Chelsea are bargaining for 40. Easy is 60. I don't know for Rogers. Rogers is going to be within that area range also. Definitely. So these are some of the news that I said I should bring up to you to speed for. And then kindly like, subscribe, and kindly switch on your notification bell so that when our subsequent videos drop, you get notified. Do have a very good day.